All right. You know who else got everything that they wanted to handle tonight? Wisconsin. Okay? Because as my Oklahoma Sooners are getting the beat down by the Kansas State, Wisconsin got the beat down from the Ohio State Buckeyes. Score there is 52-21. The thing to take away from this game is not that Ohio State ho-hummed Wisconsin with 52 points. It's that they did this without their best skill player on the field. Jackson Smith and Jigba missed another game, mostly because they just didn't want to risk him getting any more injured, right? They want to rest him. And Ryan Day's been really consistent about saying, hey, I'm not going to play anybody in that receiving core, Julian Fleming being the other, who's not 100% ready to go. And you know what? He hasn't had to, because they're just that deep and they're just that sturdy at Ohio State. It's not that C.J. Stroud was 17 of 27 for 281 yards, 5 TDs, and a pick. It's not even that they had 200-yard rushers in TreVeyon, Henderson, Miyan Williams, or that they had a 100-yard receiver in Emeka Egbuka again, right? It's that Jim Leonard has been defensive coordinator at Wisconsin for 6 years. And basically, since he got that job in February 2017, all he has done is demonstrated himself to be one of the best play callers in all of football on either side. It was just a matter of time, or is a matter of time for me, as to when he wants to get a head coaching job, but he seems to be very happy at Wisconsin. Until tonight. The most points that a Wisconsin program had given up with Jim Leonard as defense coordinator is 41 in the game. Ohio State had scored 45 by the end of the third quarter. Okay? It's different in Columbus. Matter of fact, the joke that I laid out that was not one of my best jokes of the day, if we're just going to be honest about it, but I thought it was good anyway, is it's getting ugly in Columbus. It's going to be on rinse and repeat this year. Because right now, it feels like there are just two teams in the Big Ten, which, by the way, is stout, that can challenge Ohio State. One of them being the Michigan Wolverines talking about, the other one being the Minnesota Golden Gophers, who y'all are finally beginning to see what I see, and we'll talk about them as well. All this also say that as much as we knew that the Ohio State offense was going to be outstanding because it was last year and it's been outstanding since Ryan Day became the play caller in 2018, it's also that Jim Knowles' defense has taken so much less time to acclimate. Like, I thought it was going to take them at least a year to get used to the 4-2-5 that he wants to run, because it is very complicated. And maybe having Tanner McAllister as a grad transfer from Oklahoma State would help facilitate that. But it hasn't been some. Those dudes are playing fast. They're staying with everybody. They're keeping things in front of them, and they're putting people on the ground. I watched Jack Sawyer take on that Jack linebacker role, and I said, oh, no, they found a place for this man to shine. Because you'll know that Jack Sawyer is one of the better players in the 2021 class. I believe he's number 2 player in the 2021 class, number 1 player in the state of Ohio when he signed with Ohio State. He's playing the position that Colin Oliver played at Oklahoma State last year as a true freshman coming out of Edmond, Santa Fe. That dude had 15.5 tackles for loss and 10.5 sacks as a true freshman. What do you think Jack Sawyer is capable of in that sort of a defense? Doing what Colin Oliver was asked to do. Pass rush. Get after people. And you can do that when you have folks in 3rd and long, and you can certainly do that against folks like Graham Mertz, because as much as we want that dude to be the second coming of Russell Wilson, it just ain't happening. Now, I do want to add Braylon Allen got his in, right? 23 rushes, 165 yards. So later in the game, we might call garbage time. We got to see Braylon Allen shine. Great. But it's still not the Wisconsin team that we had come to know even 4 years ago when we saw what Jonathan Taylor was capable of doing in that offense. Okay? Marvin Harrison, also, what are you doing out here with an Apple Watch on, man? You want to make sure you get all your steps today? Is that what you want? Because I get it. I understand. You want to make sure you get all your steps counted toward your goal. That's one thing to do. But look at this. Look, this reminds me of Odell Beckham Jr. when he was a New York Giant. I believe he's a New York Giant. He had the Richard Miyan. Remember that? Might have been Cleveland. I can't tell. That dude has played with like 4 different teams. One of those pro teams being an LSU team. You get what I'm saying here. Point is, shout out to Marvin Harrison Jr. because he can get it done like that with the Apple Watch on. And that dude's been wrecking people. Like, he's the second coming to David Boston to me. For those of you that don't know, David Boston was a monster wide receiver at Ohio State. Also cock diesel like your man Marvin Harrison Jr. Thank you for watching the #1 college football show. Please remember to subscribe to the channel and like this video so that you don't miss any of the best college football coverage in America.